his thoughts and not a soul to hear. Good voice!
Hello, my sweet summer children. I'm back with some juice to get you through the long night. So, during my last episode of Overwatch, I noticed something from Season 1, Episode 7 that made me ask myself some serious questions. In that episode, we get our first introduction to Tywin Lannister, the Lord of Casterly Rock. So Tywin says something that I think may be some huge foreshadowing, and I'm going to explain it in detail so you get some popcorn because I got the juice. In our first introduction to Tywin, he has an interesting conversation with his son, Jaime Lannister, the Kingslayer. This is what he says.
Before long I'll be dead, and you, and your brother, and your sister, and all of her children. All of us dead. All of us rotting in the ground.
So Tywin was right about that. He's dead, Joffrey's dead, Myrcella's dead, Tom is dead, Uncle Kevin dead, Lancel dead. All that's left of House Lannister is Jaime, Cersei, and Tyrion, at least on the show. But due to this quote, even they could be in danger. All of them.
The future of our family will be determined in these next few months. We could establish a dynasty that will last 1,000 years. Or we could collapse into nothing, as the Targaryens did.
Well, of course Cersei's in danger. She climbed in bed with the craziest Greyjoy there is, and her enemy has dragons. Both enemies have dragons. But Tywin is obsessed with his legacy and his family's name and the greatest dynasty the world has ever seen and all of that hoopla. But what is Tywin most famous for? What is Tywin known for? We all know the song, The Rains of Castamere. Tywin is known for the atrocities that he has committed against other houses. So House Rain were first men. Their seat was Castamere. They were the second richest family in Westeros, according to Cersei. It was their gold mines that made them rich as Lannisters. Their sigil was a red lion. So when the song says a coat of red, a coat of gold, a lion still has claws, the song is talking about the sigils of House Rain and House Lannister. So when Tywin was just a boy, his father, Tytos Lannister, ruled the Westerlands. The Rains of Castamere were vassals to House Lannister. But before Tytos Lannister ruled the Westerlands, his father, Gerard Lannister, ruled the Westerlands. Lady Ellen Rain, married a Lannister. Tion Lannister, which is Tytos' older brother. So the story goes, Ellen Rain basically took over the rock. She was having balls and tourneys, lavish feast. She was running shit. And then Tion died. Then after he died, she tried to swindle her way into his brother's bed, Tytos Lannister, even though he was already married. Does that remind you of anyone? So Lady Ellen is wed to a Tarback at Casterly Rock, Lord Waldern Tarback, and then she goes away. But she still has beef with Tytos Lannister's wife. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So Tywin is born, Tytos and Jean have kids, and when Jared Lannister dies, Tytos becomes Lord of Casterly Rock. Though she herself remained unwelcome at the Rock, Lady Ellen had contrived to extra large sums of gold from House Lannister through her brothers, for Lord Tytos found it very hard to refuse the Red Lion. Those funds she had used to restore the crumbling ruin that was Tarback Hall, rebuilding its curtain wall, strengthening its towers, and furnishing its keep in splendor to rival any castle in the West. So fast forward some years, Tywin's like a teenager, maybe early 20s. Tywin demands that the Rains and the Tarbacks pay back the gold. Tytos, his father, is being looked at like a weakling, the laughing stock of his vassals. People aren't paying the Lannisters back their money. The Rains laugh at paying back the Golden Lion. Lord Tarback rode to Casterly Rock, planning to threaten Tytos into submission, but instead of the weakling Tytos, he got his son Tywin instead. And Tywin had him arrested and thrown into the dungeons. In response, Lady Ellen took her own captives, Tywin's dad's brother's son and like 2 distant relatives. Tytos realizes shit can get out of hand. He commanded that Tywin release all the prisoners and apologize. And they did that. They did like a hostage exchange. It was a big thing, a big to-do with all of these feasts. He forgave their debt. So maybe he was weak. I mean, maybe he just didn't feel like being bothered. Anyway, all was supposedly well. But Tywin wasn't having it. A half a year later, shit popped off. Late in the year 261 AC, he sent ravens to Castamere and Tarbeck Hall, demanding that Rogar and Reynard Rain and Lord and Lady Tarbeck present themselves at Casterly Rock to answer for their crimes. Does that sound familiar to you? Anyway, the Rains and the Tarbecks chose defiance instead, as Sir Tywin surely knew they would. Both houses rose in open revolt, renouncing their fealty to Casterly Rock. So Tywin Lannister called the banners. He did not seek his Lord Father's leave, nor even inform him of his intent, but rode forth himself with 500 knights and 3,000 men-at-arms and crossbowmen behind him. House Tarbeck was the first to feel Sir Tywin's wrath. The Lannister host descended so quickly that Lord Walderen's vassals and supporters had no time to gather. Foolishly, his lordship rode forth to meet Sir Tywin's host with only his household knights beside him. In a short, brutal battle, the Tarbecks were broken and butchered. Lord Walderen Tarbeck and his sons were beheaded, together with his nephews and cousins, his daughters' husbands, and any man who displayed the 7-pointed blue and silver star upon his shield or surcoat to boast of Tarbeck blood. And when the Lannister host resumed its march to Tarbeck Hall, the heads of Lord Walderen and his sons went before them impaled on spears. Tywin Lannister was so ruthless. Say what you want, but if you were commanding an army, you want Tywin leading that shit. They killed Lady Elend and her sons, and they put Tarbeck Hall to the torch and started to move to Castamere. The Rains of Castamere retreated into their mines, and instead of Tywin going to fight them, he sealed the mines, locking them inside. He commanded that the mines be sealed. With pick and axe and torch, his own miners brought down tons of stone and soil, burying the great gates to the mines until there was no way in and no way out. Once that was done, he turned his attention to the small, swift stream that fed the crystalline pool beside the castle from which the Castamere took its name. It took less than a day to dam the stream, and only 2 to divert it to the nearest mine entrance. He drowned them. More than 300 men, women, and children went into the mines, it is said. Not one emerged. A few of the guards assigned to the smallest and most distant of the mine entrances reported hearing faint screams and shouts coming from beneath the earth one night. But by daybreak, the stones had gone silent once again. No one has ever reopened the mines of Castamere. The halls and keeps above them, put to the torch by Tywin Lannister, stand empty to this day, a mute testament to the fate that awaits those foolish enough to take arms up against the Lions of the Rock. So that's Tywin's legacy, but it doesn't stop there. His entire behavior pattern is to stomp houses into the dust. I mean, is he really known for anything else? What is he also known for? He's known for laying Rhaegar's children at the feet of Robert Baratheon. With those deaths, he thought he ended House Targaryen, but he didn't. But it doesn't stop there. The pattern continues. He thought he did the same thing to House Stark. Tywin orchestrated the Red Wedding. He thought he could end House Stark. He thought he had. Sansa had married his son Tyrion. Everyone thought that Bran, Rickon, and Arya were dead. The point is, Tywin's entire legacy is built on destroying houses root and stem. That is his legacy. That's what the singers sing about when they sing The Rains of Castamere. That's what Cersei warned Marjorie about. That's what Cersei does to House Tyrell in season 6, and she finished the last Tyrell in season 7. just like Tywin. But what's ironic about all of this is we talk a lot about history repeating and patterns and things that keep happening. For instance, Brandon Stark and Rickard Stark are killed by the king in King's Landing. Ned Stark is killed by the king in King's Landing. In theory, I actually believe that Tywin killed his father. I think there's a lot of evidence for that. And then Tyrion kills his father. And looky, Lannisters don't shit gold. Cersei or Joffrey had all of Robert's King's Landing bastards killed. And Cersei's own children die. Jaime pushes Bran from a window. He loses the same hand that he used to push Bran from the window. History repeats, ironically. And karma seems to find those that it's looking for in Game of Thrones. So how ironic would it be if House Lannister is ended? Think about it. How ironic would it be that the house is ended? The house that always is ending houses. Done. Finished. No Tyrion, no Cersei, no Jaime. No matter how much we love certain Lannisters, I really believe the end and destruction, like a reign of Castamere type ending for House Lannister would be poetic justice. Tywin's legacy, the thing he treasured the most, the very thing he's known for, the very thing that the singers sing about Tywin trampling houses into dust, that to come back on him and crush his legacy, the end of House Lannister, nothing but a memory. It's sad. It's bittersweet. I mean, it's sad to me because I love Jaime and Tyrion, and I know a lot of people hate Cersei, but I'm not really one of them. At the end of this thing, like, could Cersei retreat to the mines of Casterly Rock? Visenya has said not even dragons could defeat the rock. Not even dragons could burn the rock. So could it be in the rock that Cersei will run to? Could it be in the rock where someone orders the mines filled with water? Will she be drowned? And when your tears have drowned you, will Jaime fall in battle? Will Tyrion fall in battle? Will Tyrion go to Valyria like his ancestor and never be heard from again? What's the move? I'm thinking this Reigns of Castamere and Tarback revolt may come into play. There's also a theory that Bronn is actually a Reign or a Tarback. I don't know. I kind of like that theory, but I don't know. I think they're all dead. But maybe they're not all dead because Tywin didn't kill all of the Starks when he thought he did, and he didn't kill all the Targaryens when he thought he did. So maybe he didn't kill all the Reyns and the Tarbacks when he thought he did. But what do you think? What are your theories on this? Am I going crazy again? Because, you know, I could be going crazy again. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone that supports me on Patreon. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and join the Sweet Summer family. Okay, my sweet summer children, have a good day.